India has been widely called as the internet shutdown capital of the world. And recently also, what happened after the violence broke out in Udaipur, the internet was suspended. So why is it that the internet gets suspended? Who is the authority responsible for suspension of the internet? That's all we will be looking in today's video. Hello and welcome to the InFocus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video, we will be looking at the topic why internet shutdown takes place. So let's look at the timeline of the video, what all we will be discussing in today's video. First, we will be looking at the news, and then what is internet shutdown. Examples of few of the recent restrictions that has taken place in India, and why is India called the internet shutdown capital of the world. Related court judgments and the laws pertaining to internet shutdown, that who is responsible, who is the authority responsible for the internet shutdown in India, and then the reasons and impact of internet shutdown that takes place on overall country, on economy. In the end, we will be looking at a prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is very important from General Studies paper 2, government policies and interventions. From prelims perspective, it is important for you to know about the example of recent restrictions and what are the constitutional provisions of right to internet access. And from mains perspective, it is important to know about the court judgments and the reasons and impact of shutdown. Now let's look at what is the news, and this news has been taken from the explained section of Indian Express. And recently we have seen that what happened in Udaipur, and after the violence that broke out, the internet was suspended in Udaipur or in parts of Rajasthan. So the news states that the frequency, reasons and the controversy over internet suspension by the government. So the core idea of this news is what is internet suspension, and this has also been in news since last 2 to 3 years, even after what happened in Kashmir. So now let's see that what is internet shutdown. So internet shutdown is a measure which is taken by the government or the entity on behalf of a government to intentionally or voluntarily disrupt the internet access in the place or the state or the city. So it means voluntarily not giving internet access to the people. So the internet shutdowns are often include complete blockage of internet connectivity. So whenever there is internet shutdown, the 3G service or the 4G service will not be provided to people, while at times the 2G service are given, because in 2G service the speed is very low. So even if the people want to do their work or a few of their operations, they will not be able to do that, will almost be nil. Then government across the world have resorted to shutting down internet, citing a range of reasons. In many countries, the internet shutdown takes place. So what are the reasons that are given? It is about the security, sovereignty, integrity of the country, or the law and order, or the maintenance of the public order, etc. These are few of the reasons that the government gives that why internet shutdown takes place. So now let's look at few of the recent examples that how internet shutdown took place in India. Recently we have seen that in Udaipur, because of the Udaipur incident, the internet shutdown took place. Then when the farmers protest took place in Delhi and Haryana, then for few days the internet shutdown took place. Then the best and the biggest example of it in the Jammu and Kashmir, after the Article 370 and Article 35A was abrogated, or the special status of Jammu and Kashmir was taken away, then there was internet shutdown which went on for more than a year. Then it was one of the biggest internet shutdown that has happened in throughout the globe. Then again in Jammu and Kashmir, after the death of the separatist leader Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, the internet suspension took place. Now let's see that why is India called the internet shutdown capital of the world. According to the Software Freedom Law Center, since 2012, so since 2012 there have been around 665 internet shutdowns in India. So since 2012 in India, internet suspension has took place around 665 times. Then according to Internet Freedom and Tech Policy Organization, this year, that is 2022, 59 shutdowns have taken place. When we talk about the states, then Rajasthan stands at the top with around 88 such instance of internet shutdown has taken place in Haryana, in Rajasthan in almost 10 years. So among the states, Rajasthan stands at the top. Then overall in India, Jammu and Kashmir is on first position with more than 411 shutdown since 2012. And the longest was for 552 days after the abrogation of the special status of the Jammu and Kashmir, Article 370 and Article 35A. So now let's see that this is the countries shutting down the internet the most. In which country the most number of times that the suspension of internet has taken place. Now, so this chart is from 2016 to 2018. So you can see that India is at the top, and following India is Pakistan and then Iraq. Now again, let's take a look at one more graph. Then this is internet shutdowns in India. This talks basically about India. This is 2015, 2016, 17 and 18. You people do not have to remember the digits or the counts. What you need to remember that on yearly basis, if you will see that the incident for internet suspension is increasing. It is on a increase on yearly basis, if you will see. So on yearly basis, with each passing year, the suspension of internet is increasing in India. Now, what are the related court judgments that has come for the access of internet in India? Then the first one is Fahima Shireen versus the state of Kerala 2019. In this judgment, the Kerala High Court declared that the right to internet access is I am again repeating, the right to internet access is a fundamental right. So in Fahima Shireen versus the state of Kerala, the right to internet access was given a fundamental right, and it was a part of right to privacy and the right to education under Article 21. So what is Article 21? Article 21 is right to life and personal liberty. So in Fahima Shireen versus the state of Kerala, the right to internet access was given the status of fundamental right under right to privacy and right to education under Article 21. Then in Anuradha Bhasin versus the Union of India 2020, in this the Supreme Court ruled that if an undefined restriction of internet services will be illegal. Undefined restriction of internet services will not take place, and orders for internet shutdown must satisfy the test of necessity and proportionality. So it's not that anyone would want to suspend the internet, they can go ahead and suspend the internet. No, this cannot happen. Then what are the international frameworks about the internet access? Then according to the Sustainable Development Goal 9C talks about investing in ICT access and quality education to promote lasting peace. This also talks about information and communication technology access. Then according to the International Telecommunication Union, It also works on the adoption of standards that ensure that networks and technologies interconnect, and strives to improve access. Access is the word that you need to focus on, and strives to improve access to the internet. So both of them are talking about the internet access, that is, it can also come under SDG goals. So this can be a very important point if you want to write a good conclusion in your mains answer. So this can be a very good point, that it is also an SDG goal. So now let's see that what are the laws that is pertaining to internet shutdown, that which laws gives about the permission for internet shutdown to take place. Then according to the temporary suspension of the telecom services public emergency or public safety rules 2017, the Home Affairs Department in the states are mostly the authorities that enforce shutdown. So which is the authority that enforces shutdown in India? The internet shutdown is enforced by whom? They are the Home Affairs departments. Then powers now have also been given to the Secretary of the Union Government, Secretary of the State Government to issue orders related to internet shutdown. Then before the Temporary Suspension of Telecom Services Act came, internet suspension was done under section 144 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Then the Indian Telegraph Act 1885, this also prevent the transmission of messaging during a public emergency or in the interest of public safety. So the temporary suspension of telecom services, criminal procedure, and the Indian Telegraph Act, according to these laws in India, they talk about the internet access or the shutdown of internet services. Now let's see that what is the rationale of internet shutdown. The first and the foremost point is to check fake news. So see, in the past around 3 to 4 years, we have seen that it is the social media which is responsible for, it has been seen that the social media is so much responsible for the passing on of the fake news or the rumors which goes around. So to stop fake news from moving around or the rumors to move around, the internet shutdown takes place. Then also preventive response can be done for internet shutdown if the government thinks that by shutting down the internet a few of the things can be improved, or if internet services will go on and will keep on working, then few of the things can go wrong. Then also internet shutdown can take place. And then in national interest, nothing is above the security integrity of the country. So in nation's security, internet shutdowns can take place. So now let's see the impact of internet shutdown, that whenever the internet suspension or the access of internet is taken away, what impact it has on the people of the country. Then first is economic activity. So whenever the internet shutdown takes place, the economic activity of the people gets hampered, as financial transactions gets delayed. Then commerce and industry, because nowadays if you will see that people are getting more and more digital, so what they do, most of the transactions are taking place in digital format. Then according to the World Bank, which recently calculated the internet shutdowns in Myanmar has alone costed USD 2.8. So the internet, because of the stoppage of the internet, the economic perspective from Myanmar has costed $2.8 billion. So a country which is already suffering politically, this internet suspension has added such a big economic burden to it. So from education perspective, now that when we get all our knowledge or all our feed from online things, we tend to, every time whenever we want to know about any information, then we go online, or we want to search about any information, then also we go in online. So our education also gets hampered. Then comes the access to health and humanitarian assistance. Now that we are so dependent on internet, that whenever we want to consult a doctor, we see it online, that whether the doctor consultation is available or not, the emergency purposes, then the medical experts, these, all of these things are nowadays we are searching online. So internet plays a very important role. So if you will see this chart, the Indian economy suffered heavily due to internet shutdowns last year. So this talks about 2021. So if you will see which country's economy suffered the most because of internet shutdown in 2021, was Myanmar on top. Then comes Nigeria, and India stands at third position. Then in the end, let's look at a prelims MCQ. This says that right to privacy is protected under which article of the Constitution of India? Then the option A is Article 15, Article 19, Article 21, Article 29. So right to privacy comes under which fundamental right? You might find it easy, but these type of questions are very important from exam perspective, as every year you will be able to see that UPSC asks a question about fundamental rights. Fundamental rights will definitely be in the exam paper. So in the end, let's look at a mains practice question, the last slide for today. And the question reads, India is sometimes referred to as the internet shutdown capital of the world. Discuss the measures to reduce instances of internet shutdown. This is a 10 marker question, and the command given in this question is discuss. So write according to the command of the question. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.